If you are a seasoned, what even would you be called? If you're a seasoned inner explorer who has analyzed your childhood, you know your stuff, you know how the limiting beliefs show up, you might even be aware that, oh my goodness, I get activated in fight, fright, freeze all the time by the same trigger again and again. And I even know where this comes from. It comes from that 5-year-old memory where I got bullied by the guy I liked. And so anytime a guy chose to show affection to me, I then go and shut my husband down. You might already have experienced this. Is that usually the one and done trauma sessions are useful and they can process a traumatic experience, and we do that really well in our one-on-ones. But it doesn't just stop there. It doesn't even stop at 5. Actually, the healing just continues, and it gets from this lifetime out into parents' lifetime, out into past lifetimes, and then you're holding the whole healing collective. And that healing, once we actually have a tool to honor and process it, it doesn't just go away. We expand our capacity to hold that space for more and to heal more. And so this is what I experienced anyway, where back in 2017, I had my dark night of the soul, and I found havening techniques, which was absolutely phenomenal for my PTSD, the anxiety, the specific moments and memories I was going through. I could come out feeling everything had been processed, released, wouldn't cry talking about those experiences anymore, felt lighter in entering those spaces again. And that point of me back in 2017 thought, girlfriend, let's see the potential. We use havening techniques. I've trained in it. I train others in it now. Let's see what else we can do. And I bet you're going to be done in 1 year's time. And so I genuinely thought that in my mid-20s is like, if I just do this thing and process the trauma, and boy, like hundreds and hundreds of memories, I'm going to be done. I'll never have to heal again. And it was a completely false belief, because really our whole inner worlds, our whole subconscious minds, our amygdala, the way we work as human beings, we are made to consolidate and hold human experiences. And these human experiences can go across this whole lifetime for moments and memories we weren't able to safely process, honor, or had the support to be able to actually let go at the time. And so we store our own experiences. And this isn't just last week's, this isn't just last year's. It's from epigenetically, we understand that you're getting stress hormones from your mum at the kind of second gestation. And so it's even before you came to be, there's a potential that we're holding and encoding trauma. And so I had this really ridiculous thought, because I've been using this over the last 7 years, is like, okay, 2 things. It's been over a year. I'm still healing. The healing's just getting bigger. So first things first, I'm going to need a buddy training the same tool that I do, because this tool works really well for me. So then I can cut the costs and not have to pay someone for every session. And the vision of receiving free healing forever is my really ultimate goal. And so this became the first step, is find a buddy. And so I made like literally a buddy network of just the people who I'd meet and talk about havening, and then they'd end up training, and I'd be like, hey, yeah, remember that session we did, and then you train in it, you want to be my buddy now, and we'd swap sessions. And then it came in 2020, 2021, where I met my buddy for life, Megan. Megan had a similar ethos to me. She also believed that the more healing she could do in herself and for her children and her mum and dad, then she could hold more space and give more love to them. And so with this kind of common goal of free healing forever, we know we've got our stuff, and the more healing we do, not only benefits us, but the people we love around us. Let's sign up and do sessions together. And that has been phenomenal. We've done over 100 sessions in the last 4-5 years, and now we're meeting weekly, twice a weekly. And that's not just to like catch up with your therapist kind of vibe. It's to start processing not only this lifetime, triggers, beliefs, anything really that the roller coaster ride of being a human encompasses. And that was a beautiful thing, because I realized that no matter what life throws at me, no matter what roller coaster rides I've been on, and I've been through some, that someone's going to be there to support me, and they're going to have a tool and hold that beautiful, compassionate space for me to then heal and come out the other side liberated from it. And so with this kind of idea in mind, a really cool thing happened as I became a trainer in this tool and technique in 2024. And at first I'd started training health professionals like the psychiatrists, the psychologists, the counselors, the nurses, you name it, in this particular tool, havening techniques. But I had a little bit of a different intention then, because while they would come out and be able to integrate trauma tools that actually work in a really simple, effective way and had some neuroscience behind it, great, sold, is that I really had the desire to connect them together so that they could experience their own healing because of what Megan and I had witnessed. And so we had all the trainees through all my different trainings connecting with each other and practicing and receiving their own healing, and then they get to write it up, and then I'd supervise them. So there's this really beautiful system going on. And I thought, Kamaya, what is this called? Evolution buddies. You got a buddy, you want to evolve, let's chuck you together and see what happens. And so the beautiful thing, if you're still listening to this, ideas or my kind of thoughts at the moment, is the going back to the free healing forever. So you don't have to pay a therapist $100, $200 every week. It's not even that dynamic, because the therapist is usually higher than you and they know everything and you know nothing about yourself. And at best you come out with like oh yeah, I had some insight. At worst you come out traumatized. Is that it cuts that dynamic down. And so it's just two humans with tools that work to heal trauma and your beliefs and go through a roller coaster ride together to heal for free forever. And so what we've done is we've developed an Evolution Buddy Network on WhatsApp. And so for anyone who's done my training or training with the havening techniques over the world, and so there's a global network wherever you are, is that as soon as you've done the training and you go through the supervision phase, you're able to enter that network and receive free healing forever, and you'll get paired with buddies from all around the world with the hopes that one day, in your intuition, if you know this is made for you, that you're going to connect with the right buddy for you, who you love and feel safe with or feel supported, or that you want to evolve together, and you get to receive that free healing. And so that really is the big vision. That is what we've just kind of started 2 weeks ago, the Evolution Buddy Network. And I'm looking forward to that idea growing. And so then there's a second idea, is I have really expensive one-on-one sessions with clients. And whilst it's incredibly therapeutic and transformational work for the clients suffering distress, physical assault, really activated chronically and nervous system overwhelm, I also have the idea that healing should either be free forever, which is why I ultimately train you, or at least be affordable for many. And so I had this idea of, what if, not for the big traumas, not for like the abuse or the 10 out of 10's going to cause me full body reactions, but for the moderate stuff, the triggers, the moments or the phobias that still kind of sit on you and you're like, oh, the resentment that you've built up over the years. What if we can create a low-cost community where it's $50 a month, $55 a month, and you get to show up just like you would to your gym, to get stronger, just like you would to your yoga, to get more flexible, just like you would to your Pilates or your massage or any of the other cool things and activities you do for your external self or physical body, that we can do the same but for trauma. And so just like you'd show up to ease the mind, increase the flexibility, increase the strength, you can show up with a mild to moderate traumatic memory from the past that's still getting triggered in the present. And then collectively, we can heal it together. And I know you're already thinking like, fuck, is that another one of those healing circles where I have to like bleed out my trauma and bleed out my truth to everyone, and then we're all just like this heavy mess crying? Or the things that you've seen on YouTube or Instagram, we see like that like body shaking cathartic release and actually looks quite scary and traumatizing, like the devil's coming out of you. No, it's not that. It's something much more gentle, much more efficient, much more effective, and you might even possibly have fun releasing your trauma. Yes, I actually say that, and we've experienced it. Because how we work is very different to how you've possibly seen or experienced being worked with your trauma. Is you have the option to not talk. You have the option to just think about the memory, and that fires off the neural networks that were encoded or stored at the time of that memory. We fire off the stress. So you can think about it, you can visualize it, you don't need to communicate it. And as long as you can score the stress, so we know the score is coming down, then for 5 minutes, the whole group is doing the havening touch on the arms, the hands, the face to signal safety and calm, while also putting your focus on funny things like we've done Old MacDonald's Had a Farm. And the main point is that we put this focus from away from your trauma towards what's pleasant, what's distracting, what might even make you giggle. And what happens when we do that, to create the neurological safety with a specific protocol that targets the trauma and place the brain wherever else, is that the neural circuits actually start to be engulfed in endocytose, which means the kind of receptors keeping those networks in place, the pain, the suffering, the beliefs, the experience, the yellow jumper that person was wearing, and they still get activated by people wearing a yellow jumper. All of that starts to dissolve and you'll feel the shift. So by the end of these boot camp sessions, you'll be able to look back at that memory and feel neutral. Feel like the observer of your mind. Feel that the emotional attachment is no longer there. So you are free, like Uncle Bob Marley would say, from the shackles of your mind. And so this is the second concept we're working on. And I think it's really curious and has the potential to come into that second element on Free Healing Forever, which is the Evolution Buddy Network. And that will be the kind of end stage of it. So you try the one-on-ones. You come to do some boot camp and process your traumas weekly, and then you love it so much, the process really works for you, so then you join the training. And then once you've done the training, you get Free Healing Forever. It's a great model. I love the ecosystem. The concept of the specific, that next little step there of being able to, just like you would do your dishes, be able to process your trauma at a global level, has the potential to literally be able to change the fabric of society and raise humanity. Because from my experience and what we know in the metaphysical space and the scientific space, is that when we can shift our nervous system, when we can come back into safety, back into connection, regulation, or even tap into and channel our divine purpose, our alignment, our flow, our synchronicity, connecting into the things that bring us joy and the things that we value, then each of us individually is changing not only our inner worlds, but also the impact we have around the people around us, our households, our jobs, our colleagues, anybody who gets to be graced by your presence. And you times that by however many other people are in this group or in this network as a global collective. And we have some change. We literally change. And so this is really, I guess, for my trailblazers out there who always knew they were different and that things could be different. And you weren't really signed up for the mainstream belief system that told you to just work 9 to 5 for the rest of your life in a job you hate, with people who trigger the shit out of you. This is for the person who's ready to transition into, or has already been transitioning into, knowing that there's something deeper and wanting to start connecting to the things that bring you joy, the things that bring you life, energy, expansion,